I want to talk about why fear may be the best teacher in every situation. You know, like for myself, I like to believe all negative things. They are silent teachers. You know, they speak less but never carelessly so. So today I want to talk about fear, and I want to talk about how it can help one improve their lives and also their perspective around the world. For example, everyone fears everything. They fear their relationship that they are in. They fear their ideas, their beliefs. Whether if whatever they believe in it is right or wrong. They are fearful. They are fearful of the things that they own, the cars, the houses. They fear that soon they may be gone if they lose the job or whatever it may happen. A natural disaster may break down the home or whatsoever. So we are constantly living in fear, right? And the society kind of says that no, fear is a negative thing and whatsoever. I would say fear, it's a silent teacher that is there to help you improve. Like just like tough love. Tough love is there to mold people to become the better version of themselves. No, it molds you to a point where you say you are willing to trust yourself. You are willing to do everything for yourself. You are no longer gonna say, I'm gonna love you is because I expect you to validate me later on. You're gonna be like, nah, I love myself first. And if you want me to love you, I'm willing to give the love as long as, we are on a better agreement or partnership or whatsoever, whatever it may be. So I feel like same as fear molds you to become the better version of what you really fear, right? It plays, in fact, it plays a huge role in learning how to conquer your own thoughts, learning how to conquer your own environment, learning how to conquer your own body. For example, people who fear death, if you take them and they had this different perspective that fear is there to improve them, to make them have a different perspective, those people, I don't think they will no longer fear death, but they will embrace death at the same time acknowledging the fact that death is giving them chance to enjoy the life that they are living right now. You understand? So that's how I understand fear. That's how I understand how it works. It's not negative. For example, people who fear getting into fights, I feel like it molds that person to become a person who can win a battle with words before going really into the fight, right? So it kind of plays this role of saying, you fear this thing, I'm gonna teach you how not to fear it. That's how fear works. It's not about the confidence. It's not about the self motivational BS that you tell yourself every single day or that you listen to on YouTube. I think fear, if you approach it in that way and understand it and analyze it, you can understand that fear comes with this different perspective of saying, encourage fear so you can understand why you fear certain things. So then later on, you will be able to use these tactics and win over whatever you fear. And that from that point on, you'll never fear anything in your life. You'll never fear anything in your life. You understand? So that's why people will constantly tell you to say, face your fears, face your fears, you know. But people think, they take it very literal to a point. They say, face your fears. You're afraid of snakes, they'll try and touch the snakes and whatsoever. But it's the meaning behind the saying. Like I always say, it's the meaning behind the saying. If you can understand and analyze what the saying is and put it in your own perspective, it is better that way than to take it as someone else says it, you know. So it's not about facing the fears, it's about understanding what you fear and how that fear creates the room of improvement from fearing that particular thing. You understand what I'm saying? For those who might feel that they fear that they might commit, you know, suicide or whatsoever, it's best to understand why they fear that particular situation and analyze how it creates a room for improving from getting out of that situation into this new situation, whereby now you're no longer fearing whatever that you feel that you fear, you know. So yeah, if we can learn to encourage fear, I think we can get far, you know. Some believe that if they believe in these certain religions, they'll get somewhere, but they still fear that what if whatever I'm choosing, it is wrong, you know. Same for those who chose to go in the spiritual journeys and whatsoever. They also, while there was a point in time, they also feared if they were right or wrong, you know. So I would say that fear is nothing but natural, but it is there to create a room for the new perspectives that you should have, because everything in life, it's nothing but an endless journey of learning, you know. You are learning every single day. If you should listen to your thoughts and you constantly understand how you are thinking and get the algorithm of what you are constantly thinking about, you would have unlocked the doors to your own future, right? You would have seen the future. You would have prophesied your future without going to a real prophet or a priest or whoever it may be, right? So everything is about understanding them, not to take things as they are, like copy and paste them. If you copy and paste everything, when comes the test or the exam, I don't think it will be easy for you to copy and paste, because it would require your own thinking, your own ways to answer certain questions, you know. Same as life. I think life is nothing but a test. There's a big exam that is awaiting us, you know. And these exams, they're not gonna come when you die, but they're constantly there. When you learn something new, you are kind of being put on a test, and you write that test at the same time and see if you understand it. If you don't understand it, apparently you'll have to retake the test over and over until you get it, you know. So for those who fear things, my message to you is, there is currently nothing to fear, right? Encourage fear. Create room for fear. You want to create room for fear so that you allow yourself to grow, to develop, right? Whatever you fear, it is nothing but your own ideas on the failures that you feel like they're going to happen but haven't happened yet, right? Because fear is nothing but bunch of ideas, your thoughts on how things are going to fail, on how things are not going to meet, on certain expectations, on things how they are not going to make some people happy. So it's all about you basically thinking negative about yourself constantly, so right? But it's part of nature, you know. It's not like fear was created by men and they were like, yo, let's create fear so that we keep them in this whatever. Fear is nothing but natural, but everything that is natural, you can always learn from it. So create the room for fear, encourage it, you can learn from it more. You can learn why you fear certain things and how you can no longer fear certain things, right? The opposite is always the truth, you know. When everyone says, don't do this, do that, don't do this, do that, do what they say you shouldn't do, because the real answer is right there, you know. So it is okay to have fear. It is part of nature. There's nothing we can do. Well, in fact, there's something you can do basically. It's just to learn from it. Same as when you make mistakes. You can basically learn from your mistakes. Same as treating people bad. You can learn something from it, you know, and grow and develop more. That's all, man.